Yo, welcome back to the channel, everyone. Hope you guys are having a great rest of your day, start to your day, whatever time it may be. You guys can see behind me, we got the Shelby Gt350. It's been a very long time since I've made a video on this car. It's been nothing but 2-valve content these past couple of weeks, honestly, past couple of months. You know, I bought that car, I had to get it running, ran some issues, got it tuned, ran in some more issues, and then I've been just having a blast with that car, you know, getting my money's worth, god damn it, enjoying it, racing it. That I haven't been making any content on the 350. I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys a reason why, give you guys some updates on things to come if everything goes to plan. So if you guys enjoy, make sure you drop a like on the vid, subscribe to the channel, turn those post notifications. Let's get into it. So, quick walk around of the GT350, man. It's the same as it was last video. It's still dirty. I have not washed the car. Honestly, I feel really bad because I was supposed to wash this car like shit almost 2 months ago. The last time I actually really drove this car was the last time it rained here in Houston. And I'm not talking about that rain we had like a week ago. I'm talking about the last time it actually rained here in Houston, and that was a long time ago. It literally rained and I just put the car in the garage. So I got to get this thing like professionally detailed, waxed, buffed. I got to get the whole 9 yards before I take this, you know, pretty much anywhere except like around the block. That's pretty much what I've been doing, just taking around the block every, you know, 7 days, 8-9 days. Literally, I've been taking this thing out like once a week just to make sure the battery doesn't die, because I know that's a pain in the ass on these cars. So that's pretty much, you know, what I've been doing with the 350. I've been just cruising it on the ET Street SS's, which honestly, I don't like these tires anymore. After going ahead and having a taste of the TQs, these are going to be going away very shortly. But let's go ahead, get a POV drive. The interior is dirty. Like I said, the last time I drove this car really is when it rained. I haven't taken this car to any meets, nothing. So yeah, still got the calculator screen in here. Haven't swapped out the screen yet. Honestly, I don't really mind the calculator screen. Maybe it's because like whenever I drive this car, it's just to hear the exhaust, so it's not a big deal. I don't really care about the music, but I know some people might, you know, be like, oh, this has to go, but in all reality, it don't matter, man. I mean, this car has all the coolers and shit like that. That's really what's important. All right, let's go for a little drive. It's been a minute since I've driven this thing, man. It's been a minute since I've driven an S550 Mustang, and let me tell you guys, it is very different. It feels honestly kind of weird driving an S550 compared to a New Edge. It's a good feeling though, because everything's like within arm's reach. I mean, it's crazy how much of a leap forward took when they designed, you know, the S95s, the S197s, and the S550s. Like, it's actually ridiculous. Like, if you want to just see just progression, like in a time just scale, drive like a 99 to 04 car, and then drive like a 15 plus Coyote car, and then drive like a 15 plus Coyote car with the Tremec transmission. Oh my goodness, dude, it's actually insane how much of a jump they did, and it's amazing. It makes you really appreciate like the engineering that Ford went ahead and did when they designed these cars, especially the 350s. If only the GT500s had a manual, that shit would be insane. Literally would be insane. But it is what it is. I've heard that people that have the GT500s don't really mind not being able to bang gears because that DCT is just insane in itself. Let me know down in the comment section, for those of you guys who had 350s that went to the 2020 plus GT500 with the DCT, how do you guys like it compared to driving manual? Because I know a lot of people say that, you know, at first, oh, there's no way I can get an automatic GT500 because they've always been manual, but when they jump into that, you know, DCT, it's like, holy shit. Now, obviously, it's 100 degrees outside. I ain't gonna go crazy. I don't drive my cars hard when it's above like 95. Hell, I don't really drive my cars hard when it's above 85. It's just my own personal preference. I don't like to do it. I just like to just cruise them. Whew. This is all you need to do though, is just cruise and hit the downshifts. That's all you need, man, literally, with this car. But in the very near future, this car will be getting boosted. Now, I am going to be going with an ESS kit. If you guys are new to the channel, I'm a fan of the ESS kit. I'm a fan of centrifugal superchargers on cars that you intentionally want to be able to, you know, get down on the weekends and also just cruise it around the town. If you guys can hear me. Because you guys can tell, like, I like to just cruise my cars and also race my cars. I like to have a mixture of both, and I feel like the centrifugal supercharger is perfect, absolutely perfect, if you're trying to get that done. That's why I put one on the 99, or I should say not the 99, that's why I put one on the 04. That's why when I got the 99, I made sure I was looking for, oh my god, a newish Mustang that had a centrifugal supercharger on it. Dude, I'm telling you. Oh my goodness, dude. I'm sorry, y'all. This clears the fucking 2 valves. I know some people, like, they say the 2 valves is the best sounding car, guys. Just from my personal opinion, yeah, it is a voodoo. You can't beat the voodoo, man. Just can't beat the voodoo, man. I love this, like, the tone. It's like a sharp bite. That's what it is. It's like a sharp bite. That's what I like, man. And like, this car just has long tube headers. Like, the 2 valves, they sound good once you go ahead and put an exhaust on it, go long tubes, or if you just go long tubes and just dumps. With the cam chop, it sounds crazy, but just for a clean tone, I just love the way the voodoos are, man. I just love them. They sound so good, in my personal opinion, especially at watt too. Shit, I haven't gotten watt in this car in, like, fuck, bro, probably 3 months, honestly. It's been a long time since I've gone watt in this car. Got more pops. More pops. Like, this car compared to the 99, this is like smooth fast. I always, here goes that fucking wobble with the Mickeys, but this car is smooth fast. That's why I love it, because like, you don't even really realize how quick you're going until you look down. It's like, oh damn, but it doesn't feel like that. Like with that 99, that thing is like, ah, like it's crazy. I love it, don't get me wrong. It's 2 different feels, but like, this is like smooth fast. You don't really realize you're going quick and something like this, which is kind of dangerous because like, you kind of get overconfident. But with that 99, like, you know if you're going like 60 miles an hour, you know if you're going 80, 100, hell, you gotta hold on. This car, like, shit, I've gone like 150 in this thing, and like, it did not feel like it was 150 at all. Like, 150 in this is like 120 in like the 2 valve, like, no bullshit, just because of how it's set up, which again is kind of dangerous because you get that false sense of security. I mean, 150 is no fucking joke, 120 is no joke, 100 is no joke, but it's just something that these S550s, you know, I gotta give it credit where credit is due, man. These things they're fucking solid, bro. Like, they're fucking solid. They're really solid. But that's kind of like coming back to my choice of forced induction. I'm going with the ESS kit because I like the way the centrifugal superchargers feel. It's like a gradual increase in power because obviously it goes up with the RPM. So this being a GT350 and, you know, obviously it being smooth fast, I want to go ahead and pretty much enhance that with the ESS kit. So I'm going to be getting an ESS with the G3 head unit. I haven't decided if I'm going to go ahead and get the 100 100mm pulley with the X trim impeller, just in case I want to go down a pulley size under 100. But in all reality, even with the G3 standard impeller with the 100mm pulley, this car is going to make more than enough power, honestly more than it probably needs to make, for me to be, you know, satisfied with it 100%. I mean, I'm satisfied with it right now. I've made a couple videos talking about, like, this is the one Ford car that I would keep stock and be completely fine with, but I'd be chilling at like 850. I'm honestly not even sure what this car is going to make with the 100mm pulley, with the G3 head unit. I know the X trim doesn't really start making a difference until you go to like a 95, but like I said, just in case, it's better just to do it once, cry once, so you're not having to send a head unit in and get it upgraded. But like I said, I'm really curious to see what this car is going to make with the 100mm pulley. Like I said, anywhere between 850 I'll be happy with. In all reality, it might make closer to 900 on that pulley, but we gonna find out. If it makes too much power, we'll just go ahead and, you know, drop a pulley size. We're back in the 99, man. I had to do some errands today. Figured I'd pick up the camera. This thing is so loud, bro. Like, I know I am a straight menace to society right now in this car. Straight menace to society. But in all reality, after driving the 350 yesterday, not driving this car at all, and then jumping back in it, I think the 350 is louder. I really do. Let me know down in the comment section what you guys think. What car do you guys think is louder? I think it's because the 350 actually has an exhaust, but ironically, wouldn't that make this car louder? I don't know. I think if I was to put like SLP loudmouths, the mufflers, or if I was to put like the Borla Attack mufflers, maybe this car would sound louder to me. But I mean, just driving the car around, I mean, obviously we have like the Procharger noise, the cam chop, and then, you know, the exhaust being dumped right behind, quite literally right behind like the passenger seat. You know, that is going to be messing with the sound a little bit more. But I think the 350 might be louder. I don't know. Maybe with an actual exhaust, this car would be louder. It probably honestly would be a lot louder, thinking about it right now. But as far as what was going down with the car a couple of days ago, I'll go ahead and throw a clip to keep you guys up to speed. I have not gotten this car diagnosed yet, because I literally did not drive it yesterday. I just changed the oil in the 350. And that was pretty much it as far as college stuff, and then the errands today in this car. I have not diagnosed it yet, but it's looking like it's coolant, which kind of sucks because I literally just went ahead and went through the coolant system. Didn't change the radiator, which if the radiator is leaking, you know, it's whatever. I'm just kind of topping it off right now, but you know, fix one thing and then something else leaks. So I mean, we're just gonna have to just monitor it right now. It's just one of those things where I'm just kind of full sending this car. You guys have been seeing these past couple weeks, ever since we got a tune, I've just been full sending it. And I intend to race it again this weekend against some faster cars, just so I can go ahead and see where the car is at, man. Because like I said previously, with this car, because, you know, it's a 2-valve, it's a built 2-valve, boosted, you know, I really don't want to race bolt-on cars unless they're fully built. Like that LS3 Vet, like that's like an exception. You know, no heads cam, you know, intake, weight reduction, you know, all that stuff, that's an exception. But, you know, I'm trying to race cars that are making like between 600 to like 750 at least. maybe some 800 horsepower cars that are heavier, just to kind of go ahead and see where the car is at, because you know everybody knows. Oh, there we go, right there. Little third gear lockout. Come on, clutch cable, don't fuck up now. I'm about to start beating on this thing again in a couple days. But I feel like everybody has seen, you know, two valves that are built, or honestly stock bottom end two valves, you know, racing, you know, stock Coyotes, you know, header Z Coyotes. I mean, I'm done with all that, man. That shit boring. If I want to race cars like that, you know, I'll go jump into the 350, you know. But as far as when it comes to this car, you know, I'm trying to actually race, quote unquote, you know, fast cars. You know, people that, you know, consider fast, you know, like ZL1s, whether it's a 5th gen or a 6th gen, you know, C6, Z06 Corvettes, Hellcats, GT500s, whatever generation, Cobras. I'm trying to race cars that people consider fast. You know what I'm saying? Boosted Coyotes too, stuff like that, man. That's kind of like what I'm, you know, trying to do right now. And that's kind of like what I enjoy as of right now, because, you know, it's all fun and games, you know, racing NA cars, but, you know, it gets to a point, you know, when I moved to Texas, obviously I had that stock bottom end 2 valve. You know, it's only making like 400 something horsepower. You know, I only can race realistically and keep up with, you know, bolt-on, you know, 10 speeds, you know, maybe some heavy ass Hellcats or, you know, ZL1s with drivers that don't know what they're doing. But with this car, since it actually is making, you know, a decent amount of power and it is light, it doesn't really make sense to be racing those cars anymore. And I think you guys have gotten with the program and can agree as well, because I mean, it's fucking boring racing those cars. I ain't gonna lie, it's literally boring racing those cars now. So we gonna see what this thing can do, man. Should be able to get some runs in against, honestly, you know, hopefully some, you know, lightly modified ZL1s, C7Zs, GT500s, some other boosted cars. Supposedly I'm supposed to be running up against some boosted 370s, which I'm actually really curious about that, because that's a car that I've always said in the channel I wish I built instead of the FRS. So I'm really curious to see how this works out, man. Especially if they, you know, they're built motor cars. Even though I know the stock bottom end, you know, the VQ, especially the HRs, they can hold like 650, 700 horsepower on E stock bottom end. I'm curious to see how this car does against those cars, man. Because if I get gapped, I mean, I'm not even gonna be upset, because, you know, that's a car that I wish I built over the FRS. Like, I really do wish. I've said that multiple times. I really do wish I built that car, or a car like that, over the FRS. If I can go back in time, I sure as hell would. I definitely would have got, like, you know, a single turbo or like a twin turbo 370Z, depending on the motor and cam setup that I would have went with. And if I would have made like 750 and had some fun with that shit, no cap. But we'll see what this thing can do, man. I'm expecting to get gapped in all reality, but what the hell is he doing? But we gonna find out. All right, hope you guys enjoyed the video, man. Want to give you guys an update on the 350 as well on the 99. So if you guys enjoyed, drop a like on the vid, subscribe to the channel, turn those post notifications, and I'm gonna catch you guys in the next one, man. Deuces.